Good afternoon, resellers, action figure fans, especially He-Man Masters of the Universe. Got a bunch of figures from the early 80s. They're being consigned on the Vintage Vultures eBay store. If you want to check that out, I originally was going to unpack each one of them, but I didn't want to lose their weapons. I've started unpacking them over there. And I didn't do comps on prices on common ones. I thought would be pretty common, but I do have a lot of them comped out. But I'm going to go through them one by one here. And I wanted to remind everybody, Vintage Vultures, if you're local to Ephrata, Pennsylvania, we will be set up at the Complete in Box video game sale this Saturday for the anniversary sale, giving $150 gift cards away in a drawing. All you have to do is be subscribed and like and comment on the video, I tell you, and enter the drawing in person. And you can enter that this Saturday. I'm going to be doing another video, I believe Thursday, for the Pokemon shop next door. Some updates on that shop, and that'll probably be the video we'll be liking and commenting on Saturday for. But let's get to the He-Man figures here. Some of you aren't even local, so you're here for the He-Man stuff. So we'll start off with Roboto. He didn't have his weapons, so I didn't comp him out. That'll probably be a cheaper one. As you know, if you don't have if you don't have the weapon, although I don't know if he's supposed to have a weapon or not. I think he is supposed to have one more accessory, like an axe with him. So he's not complete. Therefore, he probably won't go for too much. Then we got web, and most of the ones that are complete with their weapons, if I didn't comp them out, are going between like $20 and $35, like Webster. I'm keeping all these in the bag though, and he's got the hook right there with a string. And then we have Cyclone with his shield complete. And all these are in great shape too, so I should be able to get pretty much a little bit of a premium for how good a shape they're on. There are only a few have marks on that I saw in the whole batch. Here we got Zodak. He's a cheaper one, even complete. He usually only goes for about $15. So he might be going down to the flea market rather than on eBay. But he may go on eBay for a little bit, at least for a while. And then we have, here's one of the Hordak members. That was on the show She-Ra. I think that was He-Man's cousin. But that show also developed, and that was a Horde soldier, trooper. That one is. I'm not sure if he's supposed to have a weapon. I didn't look to see if he's complete or not, but no weapon anyway. So if he does have a weapon, he's incomplete. Here's another part of the Hordak crew. Molduck. I think he's missing one out of his like 20-some pieces. I have to double check that when I put them together in completion. But it looked like there's a little green piece I don't see in there. So that might not be complete. Then also from the Hordak crew, we have Leech with his weapon. I think he only goes for around $20. And then we have Montana, because his eyes raise up. I'm not going to take him out of the bag and put his eyes out. If I start doing that with every figure in here, we'll be here for quite a while, and I want to get through these for you. Also, if you're enjoying this content, please like and subscribe. We've been getting a lot of new subscribers lately, and we're about to hit 700, especially with the anniversary sale Saturday. We'll be past 700 on our way towards 1K. Here's Cobra Khan. I used to have that when I was a kid. He squirts water. There's his weapon too, complete. Then we have Trapjaw, complete with his belt and his weapons. Had him when I was a kid as well. I had all those Hordak ones. I had most of these when I was a kid, and then they got destroyed over time. I probably lost all the weapons anyway. There's Whiplash with his spear, complete. It's got the green tail in the back. That's why he's called Whiplash. He used to whip people with that tail. Then we have Stratos. He's complete with his wings, so he usually goes for around $35. In great shape, no marks anywhere. Then we have He-Man. You could put firecrackers in the back of this one. I guess not fire pops, whatever they're called. I forget what they were called back in the day, but he's got his weapons, so he usually goes for about $35, $40. Great shape. We got Manny Faces. You can change him to 3 different faces. I had him before on eBay, but without his weapons. I see 2 weapons in here. From what I see online, I think he only has one weapon. I'm not sure what the other weapons do, so I have to try to figure that out. He's one of the few that does have a little mark right above his face, a little orange fading off the blue, so he might be discounted a little bit. Then we got Mecha Neck. His neck raises up. I'm not going to do that. I should have got the ones that raise their neck out of the bag. I do have one over there that raises. He's got his weapon and everything, great shape. Then we have Buzz Off with all his weapons and his wings. So he's in great shape. There's 2 wings there. It looks like 1, but there are 2. He got a little mark on his chest there in the yellow. It's hard when you got a yellow color to keep it in that good a shape, especially if kids got a hold of them at all. Then we got another Hordak Gang dragster. This guy has his weapons, and he's on the show She-Ra. Then we have the faker Adam. He pretends to be Adam when he's actually I don't know if he's actually Skeletor or one of Skeletor's guys, but yeah, he pretends to be Adam and maybe He-Man as well. But I see he has a little sticker there on his chest underneath, so I guess I'm going to have to try to get that off. I don't think that's supposed to be on there. I don't know why it is. But he's usually going for about $55 when I checked comps on eBay with his weapon there in his armor. Then we got Ram Man with his weapon. Usually goes for about $20-25 on eBay. He's a little more common. We have Rokon with the weapon. It usually goes for around $30. We have Clawful. I didn't look up comps on him. I know he's pretty common, but he does have his weapon, so he might be around the same. And now here's a really good one. Chomp, I think his name is. That has claws that come out of that gray thing. He's in pretty good shape. But yeah, he's going for more. He usually goes up to around $80. I saw one sold for $85 the other day. Sometimes I'll dip down around $50 to $60, but in his condition, I figure we can get the higher price up around $70, $80, depending. We got Skunkor with his shield complete. I feel like he had a skunk scent when you first got him out of the package. I can't remember. Maybe I just thought that when I was a kid. But he's in great shape with his armor and shield. Then we got King Hiss. Has a shield and his snake staff. He goes for, and that arm is off, but it goes right back on. And he goes for around $40 pretty consistently. Got Beast Man. I didn't even write a card for him because he's one of the main characters that I always remembered. With his whip, usually goes for around $30-35. Tritops, he's one of the other main guys, but a lot of those made the main characters, so he's not too expensive. Another main character is Fisto. He usually goes for like 10 or 15, even complete. So I probably might put him with his horse right here, because horse usually goes for about 25. But together I sold, somebody got 50 for him with the horse. So I'll probably put those two together. Speaking of the horse, we got Night Stalker, the bad horse. He's complete, usually sells for 25 to 30. Or no, 30 to 40, I'm sorry. That was the other horse. No, I forget his name. Oh, well. Oh, yeah, let me get it for you. Strider. Strider is the good horse. So this one goes for, the bad horse, he usually goes for 30 to 40. Then we have a rare one back here that I didn't know who it was, so I figure it's worth something. Gwildor with his weapon. See him sell for 40, not the best shape, 70 in great shape. And as you can see, this one is in great shape. I don't see a mark on him. Except maybe on his eyebrow a little, might be worn there. I have to check to see if that's the way his eye's supposed to be. He might have little marks there, but I think that's the way he's supposed to be if I remember looking at pictures. Then we have Spikor. He goes anywhere complete between 25 and 30. I did see up to 40, but that's stretching it a little. He's pretty common. Another Hordak crew. Grizzler. He's part of She-Ra. No weapon, though, so he probably won't go for much. He'll probably end up at our flea market. We got Jitsu. Didn't look up comps on him because he's a pretty common villain. but he does have his karate chop, and then he's got the sword with him, so, and his armor, so he is complete. So maybe 25, 30. We have Too Bad, guys with two faces on their body, and the shield complete. I think that goes for about the same. Man-O-Arms original, the 1981 one, great shape, complete, probably $30. Common character, but you don't see him much with his having his complete with his shin guard. Then we got Evil Lynn. She's a cheaper one, very common villain, around 15 or 20 usually goes for. There we got the He-Man, where I forget, I didn't look it up, but the name, I forget what they're called when they have things where you can chop their chest, but it's got an axe too, complete, so probably about $35. We got Hordak, he complete with all his weapons. He's part of She-Ra, the leader of the bad guys in that show, and he usually goes around $35, $40. Got Skeletor, another one of those, the one where you hit the chest, I forget what they're called, but that version of Skeletor with his staff complete usually goes for around 30, I believe it was. Merman complete with all his weapons and his armor, around 30. Here's an uncommon one. Rio Blast, he usually goes for about $40, especially in that shape. Should have no problem getting that. Then we got Tongue Lasher. His tongue actually comes out. You can shoot it out right there, as you see. Got him out so you can see that. And he usually goes between 30 and 50, but he's got both weapons in great shape, so probably more towards 50 side on that one. And then we got Squeeze. Couple S's at the beginning of his name. When I looked him up, his name's Squeeze, like a boa constrictor. Got long arms you can wrap around somebody. And then he's got his snake staff. He usually sells between 35 and 50. Got another one. I thought this was usually sells between 20 and 30. Rattler. The yellow neck's not worth as much of his red neck. He'd go for more like 40, 45. Moss Man, he's a cheaper one. Around 20-ish, but pretty good shape for Moss Man. You're not going to find him in that good a shape normally, so probably get a little premium on that one. Adam, who's obviously the gentleman who transforms into He-Man. He usually sells between 35 and 40, complete with his vest and his sword. We got Skeletor with the dragon, Blaster Skeletor with the dragon with him. That usually sells for around 50 in this shape. Reason being, it's missing the green lock. It's got the handle, but he's missing a sword also. If he had both of those, they'd go for more like 100, but without those, probably around 50 to 70. Then we, of course, have Orko, and he has his string where you can shoot him out of. And he usually sells between 20 and 30 because it's hard to find him with his drawstring. Then you have another He-Man, no weapon, cheaper one. Usually it goes between 10 and 20. Probably a flea market one on that one. And then this one's really cool. I'd actually, this is Mosquito, and his blood, you can see the blood from when he pokes people that he stores up. But that sells with his weapon between $50 and $80. This one's in great shape. That'd be a cool one to keep. It's an awesome figure. But if we can get $80 for it, I'm not going to be storing out my shelf for that price. And we have Stone Door. Looks like he has his weapon. I didn't check comps on that. Now these are all... Here we got the Sorcerer. When she turns into the bird, she doesn't have her perch, so I figured it can't be worth that much. I didn't look it up. And then I started looking up these different She-Ra characters. I'm not going to go through I think there's different versions of She-Ra. I'm not going to try to figure out who's who or anything right now. I know one of them was worth pretty decent money when I looked it up, but I'm not going to try to figure out which one right now. I'm just going to flash through them, and you can see each one. And if you... I think that might be the one that's worth something with the butterfly wings. But if you want to note in the comments about any of them, let me know some information on them. But I'm not going to go through and try to figure all those out right now because they were tougher to look up to. I think this guy's worth some money too when I looked him up. don't know if anybody knows who he is, but yeah, I'm not going to look up names on the She-Ra, different variations for She-Ra. I think they're all She-Ra characters. And a couple more yet. And then I didn't look up the horse, the blue horse either. I think that's from She-Ra. But then we have the Princess of Power. Here's the one that's really crazy. The Princess of Power Claudine. Now this box obviously is not in great shape, but one recently sold in a little better shape for $200, and one in pristine condition sold for $600. So I'm thinking put this out for $100. It should sell. Still in the box and new. It's just the box is kind of mangled, but it's pretty amazing that it never got taken out of the box. But again, anniversary sale Saturday. Please like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. I should be putting out another video hopefully tomorrow. Everybody have a great day.